what's up?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the program.
Mikkel is probably one of the most graceful, most finesse, most controlled, most stylish, most best jumper, most never know what he's going to do ever on a snowboard because he's capable of doing anything because he's one of the best snowboarders to ever snowboard. If you want to argue that, I will take you to the grave. Just kidding, I don't care enough. You win. If you don't like Mikkel, bang, that's fine with me. I think he's super sick. I would argue that, that he's one of the best snowboarders ever. Video parts, jumping, contests. He can ride hips, quarter pipes. He rides everything. He's the definition of a goat. That term obviously gets used rather loosely, but Mikkel is actually a goat. Not like the triple OG goat, like a Devon goat, but like a different category of goat. I've been watching Mikkel snowboard since I was a kid, since he was in white balance, and every single year Mikkel has been on a snowboard, I have liked his snowboarding more and more, and there's not a lot of snowboarders who have done that for me. He knows how to ride the terrain in front of him so properly. He can pop. Pop is a thing that we need to talk on this podcast more about. Like, people who have good pop, damn, they look good. Mark Sollers, you watch him ride the park or any side hits, pop. Rube Goldberg, crazy good pop. E-Man, really good pop. Oh, Ville. His front three indies in those old videos, boom. Anybody who has pop is just, that's the stee. That's where you want to be. If you're young and you're listening to this podcast, or you're old and you're listening to this podcast and you got no pop, screw the 360, screw the 540, learn how to ollie super good, super high, off of everything, rollers. Just find a little block of snow, hike it, unstrap your board, and just, spend a few hours popping over that block. Yeah, everybody's going to be like, yo, dude, we're on like a resort and it's a 20 centimeter pow day. Why the hell are you all in that block? And you'd be like, yo, so I can get some pop. I don't want to be left behind with no pop. You ever seen anybody ride with no pop? JP Solberg had a lot of pop. Iikka Backstrom has pop. We normally talk about trick selection. Today we're talking about pop. Anyway, there's a lot of important things that have to come together in order for a rider to look as good as Mikkel. And Mikkel had all of the pieces of snowboarding and they all just clicked. Unlike most of us who feel like old puzzles who have, lost a few pieces over the years, Mikkel, it seems like new pieces get added to his puzzle, and that's probably not the best metaphor, but who gives a shit? Mikkel Bang's the best. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Mikkel, for coming on the show. Enjoy. I've been watching Mikkel snowboard since I was a kid, since he was in white balance, and every single year Mikkel has been on a snowboard, I have liked his snowboarding more and more, and there's not a lot of snowboarders who have done that for me. He knows how to ride the terrain in front of him so properly. He can pop. Pop is a thing that we need to talk on this podcast more about. Like, people who have good pop, damn, they look good. Mark Sollers, you watch him ride the park or any side hits, pop. Rube Goldberg, crazy good pop. E-Man, really good pop. Oh, Ville. His front three indies in those old videos, boom. Anybody who has pop is just, that's the stee. That's where you want to be. If you're young and you're listening to this podcast, or you're old and you're listening to this podcast and you got no pop, screw the 360, screw the 540, learn how to ollie super good, super high, off of everything, rollers. Just find a little block of snow, hike it, unstrap your board, and just, spend a few hours popping over that block. Yeah, everybody's going to be like, yo, dude, we're on like a resort and it's a 20 centimeter pow day. Why the hell are you all in that block? And you'd be like, yo, so I can get some pop. I don't want to be left behind with no pop. You ever seen anybody ride with no pop? JP Solberg had a lot of pop. Iikka Backstrom has pop. We normally talk about trick selection. Today we're talking about pop. Anyway, there's a lot of important things that have to come together in order for a rider to look as good as Mikkel. And Mikkel had all of the pieces of snowboarding and they all just clicked. Unlike most of us who feel like old puzzles who have, lost a few pieces over the years, Mikkel, it seems like new pieces get added to his puzzle, and that's probably not the best metaphor, but who gives a shit? Mikkel Bang's the best. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Mikkel, for coming on the show. Enjoy.
Insane. Where do you get these?
Believe it or not, I actually bought that on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, we're rolling.
Oh, we're rolling?
I just rolled right into it.
Cool, perfect.
I mean, Mikkel's just trying out one of my massage tools I bought on Amazon. It looks kind of like a double-sided J, and you can get into your ligaments kind of nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. I got a knot in my somewhere back there that's been bothering me. So
I believe you. Did you have a
Taking
sore
advantage
season?
of
Are you
your
sore
tools.
from the year or what?
what's that?
Are you sore from the year or skating? Like,
Yeah. It's actually I fell skateboarding a month ago and kind of landed on my elbow and it kind of tweaked my shoulder a little bit. So that's what's
classic
going on.
elbows. Have you ever had elbows that look like golf balls?
Swellbows?
Yeah, the swellbow.
for sure.
Oof.
Yeah,
Yeah, those get
are,
pretty tender.
yeah.
Those are savage. Do you skate quite a bit in the summer?
Yeah, this summer I skated as much as I could, so almost every day.
I feel like I always see like the occasional leak of you skating, and I'm always just like, damn, what's up with like you and those Euros, or not even Euros, those Norwegians? You guys are just good at everything. Did you skate a
Yeah, I
lot
got
when
it.
you were a kid?
I did. Yeah, I actually started skateboarding before I started snowboarding, or I skated 1 year before I started snowboarding. But yeah, it's definitely I just love it.
Did you like skateboarding? So did you initially started skating first? Did you like that more? And then you started snowboarding? Because, I mean, Norway is pretty cold. I think you kind of had mountains in your backyard. It kind of made sense.
Yeah, so, well, I grew up in the city.
Oh, you did?
So,
Oslo?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my parents, they love skiing. So we would go to the mountains every weekend. So I guess that's why skateboarding became such a big thing for me, because I was in the city and it's just so easy to just grab it and go out the door. And
Out of curiosity, because we've had some pretty low numbers dropped on the podcast of when people started skating. When did you start skating then? 'Cause if it was a year before snowboarding.
I was 6, so that would be in 96.
Dang. You remember what kind of setup you had? What kind of board
I don't
you
remember
have?
what setup, but it was me and this other buddy of mine. We both got skateboards, and we were struggling with it for a long time, like trying to figure out how to ollie and stuff, because we didn't know anything. We didn't have any advice or anything from.
Yeah, there weren't YouTube tutorial videos.
No. Yeah, so it took a while before we figured it out, but once we figured it out, it was.
It clicked.
Yeah.
I mean, it clicked pretty young for you, because I remember watching you, and I think it was In Translation or whatever, your first movie.
Yeah,
That's your first
my
part?
first international movie was White Balance.
White Balance, yeah.
That was in 2003.
Yeah, we had that video.
Yeah.
Is that the one where you have the intro, like, I love front flips, or whatever?
No,
I hate backflips, but I love front flips.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Harrison Gordon was wondering if you still have that same opinion, if you still hate backflips but love front flips.
To be honest with you, I don't remember why I said that. I think it was because we built this like funny little kicker, like just a banana, like, and we're doing backflips, and then.
I remember that part actually really well. I watched White Balance a lot. I mean, I did like your part, but you were the same age as me, and it just looked like a kid that was like, I couldn't even really connect with it, because I was like, how is he so good but a kid? Obviously, I was super down, but John Jay's part in that and Matt Hammer's part, I was like, those were my two boys for a while.
Yeah, for
after
sure.
that video.
Yeah, that was a really good movie overall.
Yeah, for your first movie to be in. I mean,
dude, I was so lucky. I mean,
Jack Matrani was in that.
It was it was me, Frederick Ausbo.
Oh yeah,
and
Frederick
Luke
Ausbo,
Matrani.
he's sick. Yeah,
so
Luke
we
Matrani.
were like the Groms, on the Burton team.
Yeah, you had a really good front seven melon in that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you
I
had a good front seven melon, and one of the I don't know if it was Fredru or the other, or maybe Luke, but someone did like an alley-oop back one tail on the hip, or like a back one.
Oh yeah,
like,
that
kinda
was
like the
that
back
was me.
270.
Actually, that's pretty funny that you mentioned that, because that was me, but it was in Freddie's part.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
It's true,
trippy
yeah.
because
I remember I was pissed, or I was kind of pissed because I was like, damn, oh shit, sorry. Because I was kind of like, I really wanted that trick in my part, and then
that clip
he got it.
Your front seven and that back one tail in that section were my favorite two clips.
Oh, cool.
And I've always thought for years that back one tail was whoever else, like one of the other two kids, and it was you.
Yeah, that's true.
All along. I knew you came on this podcast for a reason. We needed to clarify that. That was sick.
Now everybody can know.
And was that your first sponsor? Did you roll out onto Burton? Like, because you've been on Burton for like kind of Mikey Rents kind of styles. Like, how many years you been on that for?
I've been with Burton for 18 years now.
18.
Yeah, and I just recently I'm going to sign now again for a couple more years. So.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, very happy to still be a part of that brand. They've always been. I mean, they kind of like raced me in some sense, like.
For sure.
Like, yeah, taking care of me all winter and on the road. So, yeah, the Burton is definitely family.
Yeah, I mean, 18 years is a long time.
Yeah, holy shit.
And I mean, you've gamed a lot of like, you went from yelling, I love backflips and hate front flips or whatever that was, to riding in contests and doing Dew Tour and X Games and stuff and doing well, and then to fully becoming like this, like just riding the mountains. Yeah. Kind of like, I don't even know, but judging you, I'm like, your favorite snowboarders are like Gigi, Nicholas, Terrier, like. that's
it. For sure.
Yeah.
Those were definitely my favorite snowboarders growing up. Like, I guess my goal for snowboarding was always to ride POW. So even though I did compete and all that stuff, I always like wanted to get in the backcountry.
I mean, it was a good look.
That was the dream, you know.
But the funny thing is with your, maybe because of the skating background, but you always had like, I feel like when people go fully backcountry after X Games or whatever, they never really had like a passion for rails, or not even passion, let's say. They just had kind of bad style on rails. When you were doing those X Games runs, you had like fucked up. Like, this is before like Mark McMorris and Stale and all these new guys who have an appreciation for really technical tricks in their contest runs.
For sure.
Like, you would start off your run. I remember it's kind of like the end of me watching contests was maybe around your era, but like switchback lip at the top, or like.
Yeah, that was like my go-to.
Yeah, but like like we were talking about this on the last podcast with Maria Thompson, another girl that's on the come up right now. That's actually from Denmark, but doesn't really matter. But like trick selection, and your trick selection, switchback lip, isn't like most people were just hucking cab 270s out at that point, or like front 270 tap the rail, and you're rolling in switchback lip, and then maybe the switchback 12, the kind of infamous contest trick you had.
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely the switchback 12 was the one trick that kind of helped me out a bunch.
Yeah, you won some stuff with that.
Yeah,
you did well. And then you took that to the back. I mean, you are one of the strongest switchback side spinners. I think like with the switchback 1, the switchback rodeo, the switchback 5. I feel like you have a switchback 5 in every part, and I never know what grab you're gonna do. They're always perfect.
Oh, thanks.
Or a
man.
switchback 9.
Yeah. That's definitely, you know, just to mention that I skateboard goofy and snowboard regular.
You would.
So that definitely helped my switch riding for rails, and
I mean, it looked like it worked.
Yeah.
But you never connected with the rails that much. Like you said, you've always had this hunger to go ride POW, and now it's like you just resigned.
I rode. I think I like. I've been on like street trips and stuff. Like I used to do. Like I went on a couple of street trips with Keegan Valaika, and
I remember the hand plant you did in one of those Burton movies, and Keegan's just kind of it pans over. Yeah, I went on the pyramid.
That was in Japan, but that was for the transfer movie.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
that was a sick part too.
That was a really fun year.
Your Burton 13 part, I would say, was one of the standouts for you. You've had a bunch.
Yeah, I think the 13 part has been my best one.
The re-edit to the Ty Segall song, which actually, like my good homies from Dope Industries, they actually used that song the same year.
Yeah.
And I remember Burton used that like re-edit for like the You kind of porn thing that they did.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And they used the edit to Ty Segall. Mm-hmm. That part to me is like my favorite part of You Ever. It starts and you're like hitting the hip and stuff. They have cool lifestyles. It looks like kind of some grainy. I don't know if Leyland filmed a lot of that. Whoever edited that in house for Burton, at least, I thought was like really good.
That's funny. I don't remember his name. I was thinking his Instagram.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Klondike.
Klondike Bar 69 whipped up a sick edit back then.
No, but he killed it on that one, I thought. That was cool. Aaron wasn't. I don't think Aaron filmed me that year.
He might have been doing contests.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, those hips that we rode, that was my my good buddy Lars Eriksson.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Yeah, he used to build all those. If you remember, those Hemsedal sessions in Norway, the kind of legendary sessions.
Yeah, I remember.
He built all that stuff, and he passed in an avalanche in Hemsedal a couple of years back now. So,
Rest
which
in
is
peace.
really sad because, well, obviously he was like, he actually introduced me to Burton when I was 11.
Oh, so he's done a lot for you.
Yeah,
Not
he was
only
like, he
shaped.
pretty much like took me under the wing, and it's actually kind of a funny story. He used to build oh, we got someone at the door.
No, it's good. Someone was
Okay.
banging, but I'm not gonna let him in.
What I was gonna say, yeah. So when I first started snowboarding, the snowboard park in Hemsedal, skiers were not allowed in the park.
It was just snowboarders.
Yeah, if you were not allowed to ski in the park, which is crazy. It's kind of awesome, right? But when I started snowboarding, I was 7, and I didn't want to go through the park alone because I was, young and I didn't really know what I was doing. So my dad came with me into the park, and he was skiing, obviously. And at the bottom of the park, there was this hip, and it was like a big gang of snowboarders, like shooting photos and whatever. And Lars was sitting at the bottom of the hip, shooting up. And then my dad, of course, hit the hip, and he's got it, and it was, I remember I was terrified, because like all these like cool snowboarders were hanging around, and my dad just fucking hits the hip when no skiers are allowed. So he hits it, and then Lars throws a snowball at my dad, and they were literally got into like a huge argument, like almost like started a fight, and then my dad and Lars ended up becoming like best friends, and Lars took care of me and taught me stuff, and he taught me how to surf, for example.
So this guy was like your mentor.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it's definitely, yeah.
Wow, that's.
And then he introduced me to Burton because he was like building all the jumps for the Hemsedal shoots, and then he introduced me, and then ever since then I've been with Burton.
So shout out to Lars, because I mean.
Shout out to Lars Eriksson.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. That's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I'm
cool.
kind of getting shivers talking about it.
I know, I
'cause
love
it's
it because it's like, but you wouldn't even be where you are without that dude and the snowball incident with your dad. Like, who knows where you're like, it all happened for a reason, and you just got to be grateful that you crossed paths with him. And
yeah,
I mean, it's tragedy that he passed away, but it's also
for sure. He's going to Valhalla. He died doing what he loved doing. So.
Oh, I'm the same way. I'm getting shivers right now, especially that it was in an avalanche. It's just
for sure. And it's just it was one of those classic like, let's do one more. It was actually on Christmas Eve too. Fuck, I don't mean to be talking about this.
No, dude, it's real shit, dude. That's part of life, dude. Everyone who's listening to this right now has gone through their fair share of.
Yeah, that was a tough.
Everyone's lost people that they love and have shaped them and stuff, and I gotta say that's a tough one. But I mean, he shaped you into the man you are today, and I mean, you've brought a lot of joy to a lot of people. So he's probably looking down, nothing but smiles from him.
Yeah, sure, that sounds good.
Yeah,
for sure.
So what was your season looking like? You filmed for the Powder Hounds. I mean, I'm the biggest fan of Mikey and Leyland and you and whoever else is always up in that. It's like Mark, obviously. So how was the season for you guys?
This was Mikey said it pretty good. Like this year we kind of finessed the game because like we chose who we wanted to ride with, and then we just rode wherever we wanted to ride. So I had spent 2 years away filming from Canada because before that I filmed in Canada so much, and then I wanted to change it up a little bit. But after those 2 years and coming back to Canada again, this year it was so good. I mean, this is like the best place. I mean, this is my favorite place to snowboard.
No way.
Yeah.
Do you interior or just BC, just kind of in general?
BC and an interior, and it's just and the fact that you can snowmobile. Love snowmobiling, and it's easier to get around, and it's just.
I mean, you did go from riding. You did some stuff with Travis, but I feel like a lot of your sections, even the Turbo Dojo and stuff, a lot of it was Japan based. Yeah. And you only get to get moving so fast in Japan before your run's over.
Yeah.
So to come back to Whistler, where you have a lot bigger of a face to kind of open up on and lay into some turns. I mean, you go into Revy with Mikey and stuff, and you guys go to Trout Lake or whatever with those dudes who know where to go.
Yeah,
too. Like Mikey's kind of the goat with him and Leyland know where to go. And to have, I mean, not that you don't, but like to have Mikey who learned everything from the Wildcats.
I'm
like
spoiled, you know.
yeah.
It's it's been it's insane. It's just I'm really lucky to be a part of that crew, you know. Like you said, they know everywhere.
Yeah, and I mean like it's a sick
and
dynamic.
I mean, also because they're really good snowmobilers too. So like after all these years, like riding with them and going around and searching for new places, and you know, I've learned so much from them that I can only be grateful.
Oh, dude, I can't wait to watch this project. If Leyland and Mikey are sitting and editing it, I mean, I remember tripping out back in the day when they kind of took me under their wing, and they were the first older people in snowboarders.
Yeah.
Like they were the first older people in snowboarding that like thought I was like cool enough to be in the project.
Yeah.
So when I was in the old 8 Mile movies, which is kind of like pre Powder Hounds, I was always just, you know, the soundtrack and the way Mikey puts everything together.
Yeah.
I mean, even the last Powder Hounds movie was so enjoyable, and I can't wait to watch this one.
Yeah, this one is going to be a little different. It's going to kind of be like it's not going to be, we're not going to have our own part. It's all going to be mixed together. So kind of like the first segment of the film will be the start of the season, and then it'll, you know,
transition.
Yeah. So I think it'll be really cool. It's a short film, and I haven't seen anything actually. I've only heard ideas. So actually later today, we're going in to check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like between the three of you, Mark, Mikey, you three.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, you guys make a short movie. I mean, obviously, whoever sponsored it, I'm assuming Burton.
Yeah, Burton was our main sponsor, and then Monster and Gibbons.
Oh, nice.
Apris. Yeah, so we got some
cheers
free
to Gibbons.
beer, and
they sponsor our project too. I mean, and free beer is always nice. So
for sure.
Thanks, Joey.
Yeah.
Keep the beers flowing. Yeah.
No, I think it'll be cool. I think Leyland and I are gonna take all my shots and make a separate part after the movie is done. Just because I kind of want to have also one edit of all my riding throughout the season. So But that'll just be something for, I don't know, Instagram or just where you can.
I always like doing that same thing, especially if you had like a decent season where you like enough of like 2 minutes of your footage to put it together. It's kind of like a nice thing to look back on, where if it's mixed in a video, it's still sick, but I always love when people who've had a good year and their shots are all over the place, they put something together a little later in the year, and it's not like...
Yeah, because this film will be, just us randomly, you know. So I think that's a good idea to just put down a little edit on the side.
Yeah. So did you guys get did Terry or anybody sneak into the project?
So dude, Terry is, he's the man. We just hung out with him for 2 days, and we did some random stuff.
Nice.
Actually, I gotta tell you this though. We went sea-dooing yesterday.
Yeah.
And like 3 grown-up dudes on a sea-doo. It was hilarious, and we fell in the water. And
I saw the photo of Mikey posted on Instagram. You 3 like together. I was wondering what the outcome was, but you guys fell into the Squamish Harbor.
Full close, like my phone and everything, dude. It was the shot. I mean, it wasn't planned, but it couldn't have been any better, really.
I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I mean, even the FUBAR thing. Yeah. I posted today on the Instagram just if anybody had any questions for you a few hours ago, and a bunch of people, about 20 people were like, they didn't even ask a question. They just said best jump style in a variation of different ways, like best jumper, jump god. And then a bunch of people were like, ask him what it was like hanging out with Fubar.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, no, it was
Cody
awesome.
69 is wondering what's Fubar like. Like, what's up with that dude?
Dude, so his name is Dave, but then he's got his character Terry, and when he goes in character, he's just it's crazy. It's like, well, it's obviously a completely different human, but yeah, everything that comes out of his mouth is funny. It's insane, and his outfit, with like the flannel, no t-shirt underneath, like open, and like the tiny little shorts.
Yeah.
His yellow,
I've seen.
like
It looks pretty trailer park. I'm down.
it's awesome, dude, and just cracking bears, and yeah, really, really cool, dude.
So you're excited on the Hounds project?
Yeah.
Do you think you'll be doing that next year?
So it's not fully locked in yet, but it looks like I think Burton is probably making a movie.
They should.
So
Burton's in a position right now where, like, they haven't made a really like sick one in a while. Their team's pretty diverse now. It's like, I think that if they got the right person to edit behind it, it could be a good thing.
Yeah, we've been trying to convince them to make a movie for a long time. So
Well, you guys all film video parts. Of
yeah, I
course.
know exactly.
You're like, come on.
Yeah, come on, guys.
You guys gonna have a camping freaking contest brand, or are you gonna embody what you guys came from, which is the mountains?
No, they're definitely on the right track these days, and
Well, for sure they are. If they're re-signing you, that's the best thing they've done in a while.
thanks, dude. Yeah, no, it's definitely a little nerve-wracking, when your contracts are...
Well, especially with Burton. And they've been, if you look at the past of Burton, they've been, I work with Roman DeMarchi every once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm friends with David, DCP a little bit, and you hear some of the backgrounds. And for sure, I hang out with Solers, is one of my best friends. So,
Yeah.
your 3-year contract's up with Burton. It's like you hope that you're a part of that family enough that they keep you around.
sure.
And for your instance, 18 years, they're keeping you around as
Yeah,
and that was a great call on their
awesome.
part, because if they, I'd be on the Instagram chewing them out every day. You weren't.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Thanks,
where
dude.
is your brand going without Mikkel?
Thanks,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome. Yeah. No, but yeah, like I said earlier in the podcast, is that, they're truly my family, Yeah.
And why not keep around the people that have got your brand to where it is with the style and stuff like that, and keeping around those dudes and not just having, their 80% of their market be like contest dudes that are winning contests. Because,
for sure.
really, if you look at like Burton's roots, it's like, they've always had like some creative dudes that are amazing that are in the mountains, like Craig Kelly and stuff. Like,
Totally.
Like, and like, do you not want that to be your brand look? Because without the guys like you, that Craig Kelly look is going to be kind of dissipating.
And definitely, yeah, because you definitely need both. You can't just stick with one thing. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, totally. I feel like sometimes, Mark McMorris is a little bit of an example of. I feel like he's gonna do what you kind of did. Obviously, he's gonna do it with like winning, I guess, a lot more because he's just
I just
insane.
saw him on Instagram. He did some crazy front.
Yeah, what was that? Like front 1440, or is it front
that's
16
what it looks like.
Indy?
I don't know if it was like a triple core.
I don't even know.
I don't know. He was going.
I don't know, but his
really
Indy poke
fast.
on it
was
looked sick.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit.
What do you think about that, though? You got to the Switchback 12 level.
Yeah.
Rasmus was just on the previous podcast, and we were talking about the 18 that we just... Did you see that 1800 that just got posted?
Was it backside?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
So that's 4 360s? I don't even know.
That's what is? Yeah, that is 4. Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah, no.
No,
Yeah,
18?
no, it's more. It's
Is
5.
It? No way.
Is it 5? I
Is
think it's
it?
5. Because a
See,
720
that's like,
is
we don't
2.
even know
So,
what it is,
yeah,
dude.
I think it's 5 360s.
Oh my god, that's insane.
I don't know. I feel
Dude,
like...
it blows my mind. I'm not really. I'm fading away from that kind of snowboarding.
Yeah.
I definitely have seen how through over all these years, my snowboarding has always changed. And right now, my biggest motivation to keep doing this is just to just turn to ride more lines and try and do more like natural stuff. And obviously I'm not gonna, still like jumping and hitting jumps and stuff, but I find it so impressive to just like when you ride lines and hit stuff naturally, and because you pretty much just get one go, and it's always different, and
it's hard to pump and ride the transition in front of you like gracefully, like in a tasteful way.
Yeah.
And when you go down a face and it's fresh and you ollie and you land in that transition, and you do the turn where you're supposed to do the turn, so you're not like chattering or kind of air out where you don't like. If you can make all that happen, which I've seen you do, and I mean obviously just because we can talk about one of the few people that's better than you at it would be like Nicolas. You know what I mean? Like I think he's the best at it out of anybody.
That's actually so. 2 years ago when I was filming with Absinthe, I got to ride with Nicolas a bunch, and he's so good, man. It's crazy. And but just being with him and riding with him, I learned so much about riding lines. That's really helped, like not always looking at things straight down, but looking at things like going sideways on stuff instead of going straight down things.
You got mentioned in the last podcast with Rasmus yet again. Okay, we were talking about because Mark Solers had told us earlier in last year.
Yeah.
He's like, hey guys, or told Rasmus anyways. Yeah. Hey, don't look at a line always from like top to bottom. Like look at it side to side. Mikkel told me that. Yeah. So Rasmus said it on the podcast yesterday. Like, yeah, like Mikkel says to like look left to right, and you can tell in your riding and in Nicolas's riding a lot of the times instead of just going like, you know, step off the cliff and do a slash in front of the lens straight out. It's like you guys ride at a 45-degree angle, and you guys end up finding so much more stuff.
Yeah, your options become so much wider, right? Because, and it's kind of safer too, because then your slough will, you know, if you just keep going, you know, on like from looker's left to looker's right in one.
Yeah, your slough is never in your face too.
Yeah, you're never gonna get sloughed out. There's a lot of things that makes it better that way. And also like when you hit stuff, like if you do like an air off something, your landings are gonna be easier because it's not as much impact. Kind of like doing like hips everywhere. You know?
Yeah, true. Yeah, I never thought about that. You kind of are, and you're really good at hips. When I think of hips, I think of. I don't know why I think of like you and Charles Reed.
Yeah, dude, Charles fucking man. He that one year in Mammoth, he did this rodeo over this hip in Mammoth. It's huge. I don't know. I think it's from Standing Sideways.
Yeah, I know Sideways. The shot.
Yeah, you know that one?
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, he was a psycho on that.
Yeah, hip. Dude, that guy is so good at snowboarding.
Yeah, he had a good year too. He was saying.
I know he's making his own movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's like, it's like him, Darcy, and a few other dudes. Oh, okay. So, which is sick, because another contest dude actually filming video parts. I mean, you always were in the contest scene for like those younger years, but you always at least cared enough to film video parts, which I always have so much respect for when a contest dude is still out there. Like Mark McMorris, the fact that he's like, he could do nothing and just still be getting all this like whatever, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And he has such a desire to film like credible, awesome snowboard footage that, I mean, we all get to enjoy. I mean, he's filmed some amazing stuff off of the few jumps he's hit out there.
Yeah. I used to always, combine. So I would be at a contest, and then right after the contest, I would travel somewhere and film. Because that's what I really wanted to do, you know? So that's how I did it. I just did contests, and then when there was no contest, I wouldn't go train for a contest. I would go film.
You go train for what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, the longevity in your career, let's say after you're done contesting and you're not winning, if you had never filmed video parts and put all that time into the mountains, it would have been over for you years ago.
Yeah, I would never have learned to to be out there.
And I mean, now you're one of the, I would say most riders would put you in their top 5. I don't know a lot that wouldn't. So
That's very kind of you to say.
no, it's just the truth, dude. I mean, and it's not even like me, fanning out or anything like that. You just have a tasteful way of riding, and it's a.
Thanks, man.
There's a lot of snowboarders. I feel like, I don't know if this is a good way to say it, but like maybe a lot of them wish they were skateboarders. Where I really think that you're just a snowboarder.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
You do skateboard, and you probably love it.
Yeah,
and you
but
watch.
that's when it's
but
summertime.
you look like
and
a
I'm in the
snowboarder.
Yeah, no, definite. Snowboard is it's my life. I was when my contract was up this summer, I was kind of like, shit. What if I don't get a new contract? Like, what am I gonna do? And that's kind of a classic question that you get, or I've been getting throughout all these years. Like, what are you gonna do after snowboarding? And it's like, I don't know. It's so hard, and I think that just explains how much I love snowboarding.
I mean, yeah, you can't even probably
like,
compare. You've never. I mean, at what age? At what age did you start making like a decent? Like, when did you get your first paycheck from snowboarding?
When I was 11.
When you were 11, you were starting.
11. Yeah, I started getting paid in 2001.
Was it like a monthly, or did you?
That was all year.
What was like for that contract for you then? Like
that was enough for me to like go to a couple events, like travel to Europe and
like 10 grand US for the year or something? Or?
Yeah, well, I don't really like to talk about how much, but
I know. I can tell some people are down with the numbers and some people aren't. And I always like to see if I can get the numbers.
just because like you're not supposed to really talk about that. but not like crazy money, but enough for at least get food and travel.
Yeah. You're a classy guy. I respect that. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So, but then after my best years were when I was competing, because then you got bonuses and then you got money from the events, and so it slowly got better and better throughout the years.
And have you bought a piece of? Do you own a home or anything?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, so you didn't blow all your money away? You got some real estate.
Yeah, I was really lucky to have my dad and or my family and friends that had told me or told me to invest when I was young. So I bought my first apartment when I was 18, and then after 10 years, actually last year, I sold that and bought a house. On the edge of Norway. Oh, edge of Norway. Edge of Oslo. Okay. On the edge. That doesn't work. But I used to live in the core of the city. And then now we moved out a little bit.
And who lives out there?
It's me and my wife.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we have a dog.
And your beautiful wife is behind us, sitting on the couch,
she's
ever
here.
so patiently.
She is patient. She's got Wi-Fi and
she's got Wi-Fi. She's chilling. No, that's very nice of her.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, how tall are you? You're 5'3"?
I am 6'2", 6'3".
Sorry, 5'3". You're like
centimeters. It's 191.
So you were at a 160?
170.
A 170.
Yeah, I read the biggest board in the line. Yeah.
Is it called the Bang?
No, it's I read the custom.
Dude, that's the
standard custom.
What do you think about pro models? Are you
think
for them?
Cool. I mean, I would love to have one.
Have you ever had one?
Well, not really, but when Keegan Valaika and I did the Love series, we had our names on one of the boards.
Okay, so you do have your name on a board out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, because thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, anyways, I don't know. I don't want to do the whole comparison to skateboarding, but when I was a kid,
that's so rad, right? With skateboarding, how they get their name under the
It's still like blown up on the bottom of a deck. It's still so like Vans just put out a line with one of my good friends, Jake Kuzik, and it's so like tastefully done, but there's still his name on everything. He was a big part of the design on everything, or. There's a lot of board companies.
I totally support that.
I think
it's
more
great.
board companies should do the pro model, and it's like,
for sure.
Who cares about the small amount of royalties? I mean, like that, you should be picking a pro team. You're proud.
Almost like I wouldn't even need like royalties at this point.
Think about if you made a snowboard brand for whatever reason. Let's say hypothetically, Burton doesn't make out, and you make a pro model boards and you get
Yeah.
a team and you have this huge investor and you have some money, it's like, why would you not want to give the 5 or 6 dudes on your team and you pick those dudes? Like those are your dudes.
For sure.
Like be proud that you picked those dudes.
I definitely, I agree, totally agree with that. Like, skateboarding, how they like, and then, you know, they turn pro and they get their skateboard and the name is under it, you know, like.
Such a cool thing. I mean, like we don't have to steal it from them. We don't gotta bite them, but I mean, we were doing it forever before this.
Yeah. I don't know why they're not doing it. I think it's probably because of sales, you know. I think maybe...
Snowboarding is a different group of people. It's not a bunch of kids. There's a lot of older people. So I understand, like, not like, you know, putting Mikkel Bang's name on the bottom of a board in like blood. Yeah. But like, you know, you could tastefully put it in just a nice text on the side of the board and like and give you a lot of say on how the board's like designed.
Maybe even on the wrapper. I don't know.
Yeah, even on the wrapper.
Just a nice,
Yeah, I mean, I'm down.
It could be, I'd ride a Mikkel. Could be a name and like a little story or like how you feel, what this board does for you, or I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you though.
I can't even ask you like what boards you grew up riding because you're just riding Burton the whole time.
Yeah. The board I'm riding though, the Burton Custom, it's
you've been riding that forever, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been riding that forever. A couple of years back, we were doing we were testing a bunch of boards, and then I would like test boards, and we finally got to a good one. So now, but I just ride the standard Custom.
Nothing fancy.
No, it's just stock.
There you go.
Yeah. So and it's my favorite board. For sure. That's the thing too, because like that's the only thing that kind of sucks being tall is that I don't have that many options.
You know? Yeah, you, Mikey, and Mark are all the same size almost.
I'm like, I ride the 170. That's it.
And you drove up here from Squamish, so what's your plans tonight? You guys are going to go over the footage review. You're going to try and take a look. And
so, well, Helle, my wife, she came with. So we're going to, before we go down back to Squamish, we're going to cruise around Whistler. She's never been there. Nice. And then we're going to go to Squamish, and then we're going to look at the footage.
Nice.
So we're going to look at the footage today and tomorrow.
Okay.
And just
and then what's after that? Are you guys going to go to Vancouver? You're here till Saturday, right?
I think we're going to go to Vancouver. Just lurk around and...
Go to Science World or something?
Yeah. What's it, Science World?
There's like a huge building in Vancouver. I'm pretty sure it's called Science World, and it's like a globe. You can go inside, and there's a bunch of cool science stuff.
Yeah,
in it.
see, I'm
the art museum's really sick too.
Okay.
There's like an art museum downtown, and they always have like different artists playing there, or not playing there, but like showcasing their work. But they had like Dali. They had all these paintings by Dali, and me and a friend one time went and looked at all of his work. I mean, I'm a big fan. So.
Yeah, no, you definitely got to check that out. Definitely, there's so much good food in Vancouver too. So that's definitely on the list. Drinking some beers, of course.
So your favorite place to snowboard is BC.
Yeah.
What's your favorite place to live? Like, are you happy?
That would be home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Home is your zone.
I don't think I'll ever live anywhere else but Norway. Yeah, I definitely I don't know. There's something about it. I mean, I've been traveling all over the place, and I don't know. It's like that saying, "Home is home." Or, you know, like.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I say I'm the same way,
and especially because then I can speak my native language, and I don't know.
I mean, I see the way you guys celebrate Norway Day or whatever, and I'm like, you guys got it going on over there, and everyone there is hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't go over there because all the girls are like, you know, they're tall and skinny and supermodels, and I'm like 5'8" and Ukrainian. And
dude,
like,
you were crushing it there, man. Don't worry about it.
Oh no, there's some beautiful ladies over there, but I'm taken. But I mean, if she leaves me, I'm going to Norway.
Yeah, sure.
You got a 2-bedroom?
Yeah. I got a big couch.
You got a big couch?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, actually, I sometimes we sleep on it. It's huge.
So is it like you got a backyard? Is it like what's your zone? Is it?
It's sort of we don't have that much space. We have a little yard, but it's not much. But the house is on the borderline of the national forest.
Ooh, no, nice. So no one can build back there.
Yeah, exactly.
You're protected.
And it's really good for our dog because I get out of the house and then I'm right in the woods. and she can just do whatever she
What
wants.
kind of dog do you have?
It's a English Staffordshire Bull Terrier.
Oh wow, I don't know what that is, but there's definitely some people.
It's kind of the same breed as, or it looks like a pit bull,
Oh okay.
but they're a little smaller. In England, they're very popular in England. They're
So this is your guy's baby right here.
yeah.
This is your pride and joy.
Yeah, she's 2 years old. Just turned 2. I'm trying to find a photo for you here. If you're keen.
No, it's fine.
Here we go. That's her right there. She's adorable.
Okay, we got a black dog that slightly does look like a pit bull, and it's sitting in a seat, and you got a seatbelt on that motherfucker. Good call. I mean, I'd protect that thing too. That's a good looking dog. Dang.
Yeah, no,
And I'm honest too. A lot of people are like, "Yo, you like this picture of my dog?" I'm like, "No, it's not the best looking dog." Like, if it's their kid, yeah, for sure I'll lie. But someone's dog, it's like, that's a good looking dog you got there, Mikkel.
Thanks, Steve.
Nice
yeah,
job.
she's very pretty. Yeah, she's adorable.
Hell yeah, dude. Okay, so I gotta ask. Everyone's always curious. This is like a classic thing, you know.
Yeah.
Who are some riders back in the day that were like, that's like, other than, I mean, if it's just Nicolas and Gigi and
Yeah.
Terrier, but I'm assuming you had some others that were like,
For sure.
you
I
know.
mean, like when I started snowboarding, it was definitely the locals in Hemsedal. I was, always kind of eyeing out the locals. One of my best friends, Christopher Kvernberg, he when we were just shit kids, we were always watching those guys ride. And now we're really good friends now, but I was too young, in the beginning to be his buddy. And then Mads Johnson.
oh yeah, dude, the biggest front five ever done.
Yeah. That was insane.
Was it like 205 feet or
I
something
mean,
like that?
I saw the jump. I actually literally stood next to it, and I was like, this is.
And you would have been like a child seeing that jump.
Yeah. But it was literally like, it didn't make sense.
Because I saw the photo. There's a sequence of it in Trans World.
Yeah.
When I was a kid. Maybe it was Snowboarder Mag.
Yeah.
But I remember like in class, I was in grade 11, Mrs. Penny Ridge's class. I remember the exact like everything. And I was like looking at this jump being like, what?
It's ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It
That was
was
some Evil Knievel shit.
Yeah, it really was, man. He had, and the in run, I don't know how it was crazy. Yeah, but JP Solberg was definitely one of my favorites for a really long time because I just loved his style.
Oh yeah, he's one of the best back 7, back 10s I've ever seen.
just-
That one back 10 he filmed in Absence is
Yeah.
one of my favorite clips like ever.
Yeah, he just, I don't know.
Oh, he
he's
looks
just
good
always
on a
so
board.
smooth and
Yeah, he looks good on a snowboard.
Yeah.
Back 5 stale or whatever. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
it's so good.
He's got it going on.
Totally. Always, like, you could just tell how much control he had, That one shot in Hemsedal, too, where he did, I think it was either backside or switchback side 7 with no shirt.
In what video?
Which one was that again? I don't really remember right
Yeah.
now, but I still remember that shot.
Yeah,
He's
okay,
just-
sick.
And he was kind of like gangster, He
Oh,
had, like,
yeah.
the headphones.
Huge
and, like,
pants.
Yeah.
Huge pants.
Dude, I used to have huge pants.
Oh
man.
yeah,
I had,
when you were wearing that analog kit with those red pants, like that shit was huge.
I had double XL, and I sagged them.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's huge.
that's huge.
I mean, I used
don't
to
know
ride for
how
Tech
I-
9 and I used to wear XL and I'm 5'8" and you're 6'3", so I mean, my shit was way too big too.
It was kind of it was cool though. Dude.
Yeah, at the time though.
At the time
I mean,
it was dope. Yeah, now I don't do that anymore. Though I fully wear a belt. And
there's less trends these days. People
Yeah.
are looking a lot
Yeah,
more
big-
just normal on.
Totally.
That question used to be so big in snowboarding. Like, what trends don't you like?
Yeah.
Now I feel like I go to Seymour and there's like kids are just like wearing a hoodie and some pants and
Yeah.
no one's doing anything too crazy. Nothing's
Totally.
like
No-
there's slightly more hesh people and slightly more gangster, but there's not that like you're not going the extra mile and putting feathers in your hair and wearing like, and people used to go
Feathers.
I went to Bear Mountain a few times when I was a kid and I was like, the place was crazy.
Place is wild. Yeah.
People would go to Bear and then they would come back completely changed and
Yeah,
be like,
totally have new
they'd have
style.
different style
Yeah,
and
yeah.
have like stuff all over their high backs and glitter.
Totally.
Yeah.
Dude, the high back backpacks.
Oh yeah, I got one of those, dude.
Yeah, those are dope.
Yeah, dude.
actually.
You can Brockle. I don't know. Anyways, my friend Brockle from
Yeah.
Squamish, you probably know him. He hangs out with Mikey quite a
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah.
Douglas does all the dope movies and dope boards or whatever.
Yeah,
he made
yeah,
this
I know.
high back when he had this company going called the Bolts, and it fits perfectly like 4 crushed beers. So
Oh,
if you
no,
go up on the
nice,
mountain or whatever,
nice.
sledding or whatever, you're just, you don't have to put them in your bag and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I always thought it was perfect.
It's pretty dope too. Like if you have one of those for scraper or just like a small tool,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
So you
small
get
tool,
ice
but
underneath
scraper's
your
good.
boards, and you can just.
That's one thing. That's my backcountry tip of the day. I've never done that before, but I'm gonna is get a scraper and bring it out there, because every time you go sledding or you hike, you get to the top and your base is covered with little things of ice, and you
Yeah.
drop in, and it
It's-
immediately will ruin your run. You got to scrape your base.
Totally. You want that thing to be clean.
Oh yeah. Do you wax often or? No?
Yeah, I do.
You're a waxer.
Yeah, I am. Definitely. Yeah. There was one season here in Canada where I would, every time we came home from snowboarding, I would go wax my board before I went to bed. Like, so my board would be
Religiously.
fresh every day.
Dang.
And I don't know, it's just something like when you care about your snowboard, I kind of feel like the snowboard cares back to you.
Oh, there you go. You feel like, yeah, it's more than just, you're just a piece of board. You're
Yeah,
like, this
you know.
is my soul.
Yeah, I don't know. You kind of get a connection with your board after, you know. It might sound a little strange, but
No,
you go
dude.
through a lot of stuff. You know, you have long winter and
No, I've never thought about it like that ever.
Yeah.
But the fact that you brought that up, I feel like I'm gonna do that, because
Yeah.
I mean, think about how people treat their cars. Like,
Yeah, totally.
they talk to them
Waxing
like
their
they're
car,
in
yeah.
love.
yeah.
They're like, "Come on, baby, we got this. Like, one more hill." Like, I need to start talking to my snowboard more like that. Like,
Yeah,
yo,
for
you
sure.
fucking got this. Because I mean, like, clearly when I say it to myself, it's not working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I definitely like the feeling of, you know, when you scrape and you wax and dude, that little extra speed sometimes is just so worth it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than being on a resort when it's kind of a shitty day and you're the one that didn't wax and everyone is mobbing side
Yeah.
hits and you can't.
Or like, yeah, you're in a flat section and your buddy's just
Oh yeah,
passing
especially
you.
on like a 2 days after a pow day,
Yeah.
and you want to launch the side hits and go a bit further than
Yeah,
everybody. You got a slow
totally.
board. It's like you ain't
yeah,
doing.
you want that wax.
Yeah, the waxing pro tip right there. Jot that one
I
down.
definitely sharpen my edges too.
You sharpen your edges.
Yeah.
Sharpen.
Yeah, like after, if I've been snowboarding, if I've had the board and ridden it quite a bit, I'll every now and then just sharpen them a little bit.
Sharpen.
Yeah,
I detune.
sharp edges. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I've never.
Dude, you get I mean, if you have sharp edges, you're just like a knife, dude. You're just like,
Yeah, exactly. I don't want the knife because I always feel like if I knife, I don't have the finesse that someone like you would have on a takeoff, and I would go switch backside, and it would just be like, I need that little bit of shave just in case I like, go switch back 7 and spin a little bit early.
yeah, totally, just like fly.
You
out.
probably would never do that, but
Just,
yeah, shit happens. So Mikey asked about a story where you walked down to Vancouver, biked down to Vancouver.
oh my god, yeah, that was a kind of a dumb idea.
What happened here?
Well, Iikka and we borrowed Dustin's bikes one night to go to the bar. And we got pretty tuned up. And then we woke up the next morning at Executive Suites in Squamish. And we went down to the restaurant and had some Caesars for breakfast. And then we were like, should we bike to Vancouver? And then so we kind of drunk, we decided to bike to Vancouver.
You had a partner in crime, though.
Yeah, I did.
It's you
I
and
did.
Iikka.
But it was a mess, dude. I mean,
Did you almost die?
no. Well, yeah, it was sketchy.
That
dude,
road
like-
is nuts.
But, when you drive it, it doesn't seem, you don't really notice how many uphills there are. But, dude, there's so many, like, down and
Dude, we're in the
uphills,
mountains. Of course I notice how many uphills there are. That would be, I would never bike from Squamish to Vancouver,
But
ever.
The funniest part, though, is that, like, in our backpack, we brought a bottle of Jameson, and we didn't have any water. So, dude, when we were like 2 hours in, we only had whiskey in our bag. We were like, we're such fucking idiots, dude. But we made it, 5 hours later, and then we got into town and we got a tattoo. Sea to Sky 99, bike or die.
What? Where is it?
Check it out. Got it right here.
We got it right here. Oh my.
Oh no, wrong leg.
Oh, you went like full. Dude, that tattoo is amazing. That's huge.
Yeah,
Does Iikka have the same one?
He does. He has it on a different place though. But yeah, so that's kind of like the memory. And then on the way back the next day, the bus guy wouldn't let us put the bikes in the bus because he said we needed a box for the bikes, and then so we just ended up taking a cab home.
How much was the cab back to Squamish?
Cab with 2 bikes in the back.
With that was like a $200 cab ride.
It was actually not that bad. It was I think it was a little over $100.
No.
And the bus was 60 per person, so
Yeah, there you go.
it was almost better.
It was more convenient.
Yeah, but that's a pretty. We were down, and it was definitely the talk of the town for a little while. They're
That sounds like the talk of the town.
yeah,
I mean,
and Dustin was obviously a little pissed because we took his bikes.
well, if it makes you feel any better, the last time Dustin came to my birthday party, he threw all of my lawn chairs in the fire, and I had like 5 of them. I woke up in the morning, there's just a bunch of metal sticks. I was like, oh, look at these idiots! Somebody burnt their chairs last night. And Dustin gets up, he's like, no, actually, those are yours, buddy. I was like, thanks, Dustin.
That's so mean.
Whatever, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he is. He's the
Iikka
man.
and Dustin don't get brought up enough. Big fan.
Yeah, for sure.
You've known Iikka for a while, haven't you?
Yeah.
Iikka's one of my.
I mean, dude, for a really long time actually.
Yeah,
Because he used to
incredible.
compete a little bit too.
Compete?
Yeah, a little
He was
bit.
before my time when he was
that
competing.
That was when I was like, really.
When he was riding for like Sims.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but
I think he rode for
Iikka's
Sims.
always been nice to me, dude. Like, I remember like growing up too, like being a shit kid and like one of the Grom riders, the older riders. For some of them would kind of just be a little tough, But Iikka is one of the guys that was always nice.
Iikka
Yeah,
was,
he's a good
I
dude.
would say Iikka was intimidating the first few times I met him. When I first got on DC,
Yeah.
not even, I respected it almost. I feel like he was kind of like, maybe it sounds shitty, but like he was definitely like, who are these kids and why do they ride for DC?
Yeah.
And you kind of had to prove yourself, I think, a little bit, which
Totally,
I'm
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
down for. Maybe I'm a little old school like that. And I think over the years, I mean, we became better friends than we were like snowboard companions. I think he was always kind of like,
Yeah.
and then I think like over the years, like you go to Super Park and you hit some stuff and he's there and then he's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, like this guy snowboards. Like, I think he's almost like protective of who was just getting signed on DC in
Yeah,
those early
sure.
phases.
Yeah.
I got a few questions here I'm going to ask just
Okay.
because people texted them in.
Yeah, sure.
So Mark McMorris says you have some pretty crazy airline stories.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I actually
He
do.
said, ask him about the standing sideways tour.
Oh gosh, that's kind of a blur to be honest. But I got an airplane story. Throughout the years, traveling, I've always at the end of the season celebrated on just going home on the airport, getting drunk by myself. And
When the season's over,
yeah, when the season's over, just like
flying out a
get
Whistler.
pretty tuned up and fly home. And this one time, this is some time back. I think it's. I think I was either 20, maybe 2019. So that's over 10 years ago, maybe. Anyway, I got really tuned up, and I woke up in the flight attendant seat in the back of the plane. And I sat there, and then I was kind of like, put my headphones on, and
You just thought it was
kind
your
of
seat.
No, I was just I didn't like I was obviously pretty tuned. So I put my headphones on, I put on some jams, and then I kind of came to myself, and I was like, why am I sitting here? This is ridiculous. And so I like unstrap, and then I start walking towards my seat. And the flight attendant comes like walking fast down the aisle, and I'm like, what's going on here, And then she's like, hey, we got you a new seat. And then I was like, what the heck is going on? And then so I sit down, and I'm sitting next to this guy And I'm looking down and my khakis are like full of red wine stains. And I look at the guy and I'm just like, hey, like what happened? And he's like, you're really drunk. And I was like, did I do anything? And he was like, no, but you were like really drunk. And I was just like that. And I think what happened was that I must have just like spilt red wine and all that stuff. And maybe got a little bit aggressive with the guy in front because he pulled his seat into my knee.
Yeah.
That's what I think happened. And I probably got some complaints.
Probably got a few complaints.
Yeah.
20-year-old just pissed.
But
on
it
his
was really
face.
embarrassing anyway. And then like we landed and like there was 2 cops that like were there to get me when I got out of the plane. And but they were
wow.
nice. I had to pay like a $200 fine and yeah. But that's pretty crazy, right?
That is definitely crazy.
Yeah, it's a little bit embarrassing looking back at it.
Dave was just asking, what's it like to be with a brand Burton from your youth to now? But I mean, we kind of went through that.
Yeah,
at the
we kind of
beginning.
talked about that. No, it's awesome. It's crazy. Like, you know, how long ago is that? I had an offer from Nike once.
Whoa.
And
I heard about that actually.
Yeah, so and the offer was like it was twice the offer that Burton gave me, and I ended up turning it down because I didn't want to leave Burton because how much they've done for me, and like just I know everyone in the brand, and for me to like just leave that because of some money, I wasn't gonna do it. So I don't know if I'm kind of drifting away from the question now, but that just kind of explains to you how much I like the brand and I like the people involved. Like I wouldn't leave.
Dude, you didn't leave for double this. I mean, think about if you did.
Yeah,
It would have
and
been a
then-
huge high for
then
3
4
years and it would be over.
4 years later, there was no Nike.
Yeah.
So like, it's probably the best decision I've made in, business wise, I guess.
Cornwallis is wondering, did you get laid a bunch as a 12-year-old when you filmed your white balance part?
That's a hilarious question. No, I didn't.
12 years old.
I used to have
You waited.
I used to have buck teeth, like a pretty big like gap. You should have seen me when I was a kid. And then pimples and braces and I don't know. No,
he
there was no
waited for
girls for me.
He waited for the right one and he found her.
Yeah,
She's
I found
sitting
the
on the
right one.
couch
She's
right
sitting
now,
back
and
here.
That's all he's ever needed.
Yeah, good question.
You're just saying that to be nice.
No,
Me?
no.
No, I was I was 12.
Okay.
She's
All right,
like,
I'm not gonna read
"Are
all
you
these
lying?"
ones, but that's awesome, dude. Thanks so much for coming on, dude. I feel like everybody who's listening to this is a big fan. I know I am. So thanks for coming up here
Thanks,
with your
man.
lady.
Yeah, thanks
and
for having me.
Yeah, anytime, man. I'm looking forward to see. Make sure you check out the Powder Hounds movie. That's gonna be sick. Leyland's whipping that up. So, yeah, dude, you're going there tonight. Make sure it's tight, dude.
Yeah,
Everyone,
for sure.
Yeah,
Can't wait to see it actually.
yeah. Your butter that you posted the other day, that back 180 butter.
Yeah.
Riding in Natty.
Yeah.
That was so insane.
Cool. Thanks.
Because I really looked at it and analyzed that, like you riding into that, and there was no real shelf for you to be able to just perfectly pop off of. Like,
yeah.
it wasn't like a skate park where you're just riding into it and it's like perfect, and you would pop off here and then do the butter, which most people would be looking for if they're jumping off something buttering. There's kind of some cliffs and some rocks. You just kind of like guinea pig like a fucking goat down it and then just found something to pop off of and then you just did it. It was so sick.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, no, I definitely, because like when I was looking up at it, it was kind of perfect because the slough, it was good, like easy to get the slough going down. Like I wasn't gonna, and then there was this little shelf and I was like, dude, it'd be sick if you could like tap that little shelf and then, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, you did it. You tapped it and it looked great, as always. Thanks for coming on, Mikkel. You're the man, buddy.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, peace out, everybody. Drive safe. Be an awesome person. Peace.